It's time for your statewide Alabama weathercast.
Good morning, I'm meteorologist Drew McCombs with the Alabama Weather Network, and this is your morning statewide forecast update. And looking across the state, got some heavier showers and some heavier rain that's been moving through the far southern part of the state. They're right along the coast in Mobile and Baldwin counties. Had some heavier rain earlier this morning. Has kind of tapered off here in the last hour or so. So you've got some scattered showers left over, but some very heavy rain there right at the beaches earlier this morning. But we expect some more of that as we get through the day today, especially in that part of the state. Elsewhere, it's maybe some more clouds around in the southeastern corner there and in the eastern side of the state, waking up to sunshine in a lot of spots still. But we expect the chance of rain to kind of spread inland over the course of the day and eventually reach parts of central Alabama maybe by this evening. But we don't expect it to get all the way into the northern part of the state in the Tennessee Valley. But hopefully getting a little bit of rain in spots over the next 24 hours, 48 hours, and especially the southern part of the state. Looking at the high-res radar here as we look through the last hour or so, again, you can see that the heavier rain moved inland and then tapered off pretty quickly, so that there was just a few leftover showers as it got over inner parts of Mobile Bay towards Mobile itself. And so really the heaviest rain has been right there at the beaches. Still got some fairly heavy showers over in Pensacola and Gulf Breeze, and maybe starting to move into the eastern part of Orange Beach as well. But still, it has tapered off just a little bit. But we expect kind of several waves of showers moving through this part of the state through the day today. Looking at Gulf Shores, again, you can see the heavy surf out there. And then we'll go ahead and mention there are double red flags flying today, so you're not supposed to be in the water today at all with the rough surf, rip current risk. So just not a good day to be really out at the beach. Obviously, you see gray skies and rain falling in the distance. And so probably just a good day to kind of hang out and take it easy inside your room if you happen to be down at the beach. So don't pay attention to that gust of 78 miles per hour. That's erroneous, but there have been some heavy winds, and you can see the sustained winds around 30 miles per hour, which is probably believable with this stuff coming in. Looking at Orange Beach, 73 degrees there. You can see rain is currently falling, like I said, a little bit heavier to the east right now. So heavy rain falling, same kind of thing across all the Alabama beaches. The double red flags, you don't want to be in the water today. You're not supposed to be in the water in that kind of situation. So again, take it easy. Very dangerous surf and rip current conditions out there, and breezy as well, along with that rain that's going to be coming in waves. As we move further to the north, don't see quite as much rain, but it is currently raining there. I can see the drops falling there at Fairhope, looking out over the bay. It's 70 degrees there with again a little bit of a breeze from the east northeast generally. Point Clear also got a good bit of fast-moving clouds around. Might see a few drops of rain trying to fall there as well. It's around 70 degrees there. Got a gust of wind about 19 miles per hour. That looks more like it should. As we move further to the north, the clouds are spreading inland too. There's still a few peaks of blue sky there in Alabaster, but it's not raining currently, at least, but just some more cloud cover around at 69 degrees there. Dew point's a little bit lower, around 64. But the theme is that most places around the state do have we'll have a good breeze today and gusts of time at 20 to 30 miles per hour in some spots. You can see that looking at Montesano and Huntsville. You got the trees moving around there. It's got a breeze and the gusts occasionally to 15 miles per hour. It's pretty comfortable morning again up in the Tennessee Valley. It's starting off 67 degrees with a dew point of 60. So the dry air still trying to hang on in the far northern part of the state, but most of the rest of the state is seeing some additional moisture start to stream in. What we saw as far as low temperatures this morning only got into the upper 60s to around 70 in a good portion of the southern two-thirds of the state. It only hit 70 in Clanton and Selma, 71 in Andalusia, 72 down in Gulf Shores. Far northern part of the state in the Tennessee Valley got down in the mid-60s, and even Hamilton got down to 63 degrees. So still kind of cool start there in the far north, but most of the state has seen a little bit milder start this morning compared to the last couple of mornings. You can see that in our Skywatcher reports as well. Wake up temps from Daniel Harbin and Trenton, and that's in the Paint Rock Valley. That's 62 degrees, so still fairly cool there. But in Aniana, as you move towards the south, 65 degrees from Angie Thompson there. John Talbot got the same thing in Hueytown. As you continue to move around the state, James Mycetic and Fedette got to 69. And then down at Orange Beach, Jeff Jacobs only got down to 71 degrees. So what we're watching for today and this coming week, for today especially, high surf, rip currents at the beaches. So again, double red flags, don't need to be out in the water today for sure. It's going to be a rough day at the beach, and some rain obviously coming in. Moisture increasing from south to north to help to increase rain chances a little bit over the course through the entire state as we get into the middle part of the week. But again, better rain chances are still going to be very well confined towards the far southern part of the state. Again, rain near the coast, spreading inland, but we still expect the heaviest rain to fall at the immediate coast, and not expecting really large rain totals anywhere north of that. Here's a look at your temperatures. We are sitting in the low 70s across a good portion of the southern part of the state. It's 73 in Monroeville, 72 in Troy. As you move to the north, it's still in the 60s. It's 67 in Anniston and Gadsden. Looks like maybe the cool spot now at around 66 degrees as we start off the morning. Dew points again have increased over the last couple of days, so we don't have nearly as dry of an air mass as we did a couple of days ago. Still seeing some low 60s hanging on in the north, but generally heading towards upper 60s and 70s as you move down towards the south, so that's helping those rain chances down towards the south. Forecast highs we'll expect to get into maybe the mid 80s and even the northern part of the state, even though with a cooler start there'll be more sunshine available. So 86 degrees in Florence, 85 in Huntsville. As you move south, maybe a little bit more cloud cover, so maybe not quite as warm during the afternoon. So maybe only like low 80s down in the southern part of the state. Excuse me. And so then you expect to get into the maybe even upper 70s in some spots, depending on how much cloud cover and rain that you might get in some of those areas. Here's a look at the future cast. So again, as we move through the morning, we expect to kind of maybe might have a little bit of a lull in the late morning and then fire things back up again in the afternoon period. So you'll see here that shows, again, still some showers around the immediate Gulf Coast, but trying to show some heavier showers and maybe a few storms in kind of the southern tier of Alabama. Monroeville, Andalusia, Geneva, Dothan could see some heavier showers this afternoon, and then a few more isolated showers a little bit further north of that. But as we move in through the evening, spreading that up towards the north, but not getting really past probably the Birmingham metro before starting to fizzle. So we could see some places like Selma and Clanton and Alexander City get some rain later on this evening, and even parts of the Birmingham area, but looks like it should fizzle pretty much to the north of that this evening. Then as we get into tomorrow afternoon, a little bit better chance of a few of those showers spreading a little bit further to the north, but still nothing super significant. And even with any of this we're talking about, it would be probably a brief downpour if you got something, and again, not going to be producing long enough duration rain to make a huge difference and make significant rainfall totals. As we get into Tuesday afternoon and evening, again, showing actually a little bit better chance of some more widespread showers and a few storms as a cold front starts to approach from the north. So that's where the northern part of the state could get a little bit of rain is Tuesday evening with this front that should be coming in. So that'll help a little bit. But again, that part of the state has actually seen a little bit more rainfall here recently than especially the kind of south central and west central part of the state. Wind gusts are definitely going to be a part of the story for today. Again, it's going to be a breezy day with wind gusts up in the 20s in many spots through a good portion of the day. So as we put this into motion, again, you'll see down up into the 30s, especially down towards the coast. And it's really is probably primarily the southern part of the state that gets the higher wind gust as we move through the evening, getting up to around 30 miles per hour in many spots, maybe a little bit higher than that with this easterly flow moving in here. So again, going to be a breezy day over the course of the day and even into the evening. You're showing it's continuing to stay breezy in the western and northwestern part of the state into late tonight as well. With that heavy breeze, that's helping to produce the issues with the coastal alerts here, which would be the rip current statements and also high surf advisory. So rip current statements for the entire Alabama Gulf Coast and over into the Panhandle beaches as well, going through Tuesday now at 7 p.m. So again, dangerous time to be in the beach. Double red flags. You don't need to get out there with the rip currents. Got small craft advisories out there as well, so it's not a good time to be out on the water in a small boat either. And then high surf advisory goes until tonight at 6 p.m. And that is just meaning that you've got 4 or 5 foot waves right there immediately at the beach. So rip currents and really big waves. And you can see that purple there with the high surf advisory, again, covers the entire Alabama Gulf Coast and kind of over towards Destin. So, again, stay out of the water for today for sure. Looking at your heavy rainfall outlook, the main chance of heavy rainfall, and that's already occurred in a lot of ways, is in that kind of southern part of both Baldwin and Mobile counties. And so you don't really see that spreading. We don't expect too much in the way of heavy rain further north of that. The rainfall outlook for the next week, the best chances of heavy rainfall or getting significant rainfall totals, again, Mobile and Baldwin counties could get maybe 2 to 5 inches of rain in some spots. And so that would be helpful. Unfortunately, the place with the worst drought not looking great in places like Demopolis and Thomasville and Selma, where we're maybe only going to get maybe a quarter inch, 1/10 of an inch, maybe closer to an inch in the southeastern part of the state. And then the northern part of the state might do a little bit better with that front coming in. So we may bump up those totals a little bit in the northern part of the state if it looks like that front's going to produce a little bit more. North Alabama 7-day forecast for today, expecting to stay dry in North Alabama today, getting into the mid-80s for the highs, and then the lows are going to be a little bit warmer than they have been. Better rain chances as we get into especially Tuesday and Wednesday with that front coming in, then starting to kind of dry back out a little bit as we head towards the weekend, and maybe cool off a little bit too with an upper low potentially starting to form. And then for today in South Alabama, best rain chances, especially right there along the coast, and then kind of decreasing towards the north. But we could get that little afternoon round of storms that could increase the chances a little bit in the southern tier of the state. And then rain chances decrease past this next couple of days, and it looks like we could get pretty hot again, approaching 90 degrees again as we move through the middle part of the week, but we start to cool back down a little bit as we get later on in the week. That is your statewide forecast for now. We appreciate you watching us here on the Alabama Weather Network.